You blinked, and there's a Premier League giant eyeing one of Leicester City's oldest and most iconic players. His name? You'll find out soon. But what few people know is that he could leave for a practically symbolic amount. Will we see him wearing red in Manchester or blue in Liverpool? Stay until the end because the situation is hotter than it seems. And take advantage. If you live Leicester like we do here on the channel, like and subscribe so you don't miss any explosive news about the Foxes. The transfer window is starting to heat up, and Leicester could lose one of its most iconic names in recent years. Wilfred Ndidi, yes, that's right. One of the pillars of the current squad is being targeted by two traditional Premier League clubs, Manchester United and Everton. Ndidi, who stayed at Leicester even after the last relegation, signed a contract last year with a very low termination clause, around £9 million. That's right, $9 million for a player who has been at the club for almost a decade, with international experience, and who was important again last season. It sounds like a joke, but it's not. And what makes everything even more tense? This clause is already attracting attention from various sides. Clubs in Saudi Arabia are monitoring the situation, but now the interest from Manchester United and Everton is what's causing the most excitement behind the scenes. TalkSport stated that both clubs are keeping an eye on Leicester's moves, and by all indications, a formal offer could be very close. Ndidi had a season of ups and downs due to a thigh injury that kept him out for 2 months, but when he was available, he was a regular starter. He started the year being used in a more advanced role with Steve Cooper, something Maresca had already been trying to do, and ended with 5 assists. But when Van Nistelrooy arrived, he returned Ndidi to his more classic role as a defensive midfielder protecting the defense. And there, we know, he still commands respect. Just to give you an idea, despite playing fewer minutes than many of his direct competitors, Ndidi finished 15th in the entire Premier League in tackles won. This shows that the guy still has fuel left in him and can be extremely useful, even at clubs at the top of the table. And here comes the part that no one likes to hear, but needs to face. Leicester's midfield could be completely dismantled this summer. In addition to Ndidi, Boubakary Soumaré is likely to be sold. He only has 1 year left on his contract. Hamza Choudhury, who is on loan at Sheffield United, is also being considered for a departure. And even Harry Winks, who is a key player, is reportedly considering a departure, having missed the last few games of last season and is entering the final year of his contract. In the meantime, Oliver Skipp is likely to remain in the squad, and the academy is starting to move on with names like Sammy Braybrook and Henry Cartwright appearing strongly. In other words, the sector that was the heart of the team is about to undergo a major transformation, and Ndidi's possible departure is, without a doubt, the spark that could ignite a domino effect in the squad. Will Leicester be able to hold off this restructuring? Or will we see a new backbone being formed in this preseason? Now it's up to you, Foxes fan. Would you let Ndidi leave for just $9 million? Or would you do everything you could to renew the Nigerian's contract and keep this reference in the squad? Comment below. I want to know your opinion. And of course, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell, because the transfer market is just beginning. And Leicester promises to be the protagonist of this whole soap opera.